you get 3 guesses.
Okay.
What's different about my appearance? 3
You got
guesses.
your haircut.
You got it on the first one. It's so obvious because my hair was woolly, long.
I don't know if we have any videos of when you had your hair so long. I mean, that's a caveat there. Your hair was longer than it normally is. It wasn't
By quite a
like
bit.
flowing and stuff
No,
like that.
I mean,
but it was
I didn't
kind
have
of a helmet.
man bun or a ponytail, or it wasn't on my shoulder length or anything like that. But it was longer than it's been in years.
Probably halfway down to his eyes.
And one of the reasons is we traveled and we were busy, and Joe's been busy. Joe's my barber, and he's your barber too. No, you're his barber.
I'm his barber.
And I'm Drew's barber.
Yeah.
And Joe is John and his own barber.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got my hair cut. So that's neither here nor there, really. But we're getting ready for episode
31.
Number 31. And we've got all sorts of exciting things to talk about. We've got Wisconsinites Weekly, Mazomanie Site-Wise. I'm going to have a surprise taste test.
Mm-hmm.
Drew is working on getting something,
Another surprise for us. Just keeping us on our toes. That's what Drew does.
Surprises left and right.
Yeah.
And we've been very grateful for people, because there have been quite a few people liking our Facebook, and there's been some people that have subscribed to our YouTube. Maybe you just want to tell them, about that. Go to YouTube. That especially helps, right?
It helps out our business a fair amount. We don't get paid right now at all for anything we do, which is totally fine. We didn't start this because we wanted to get paid for it. We did it because we just kind of a hobby kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you can go to the original Father Son Voiceover Podcast Facebook page. We also have I post all of our links to our Todd's Tips, numbers, interviews that are local or VO related, and then the full podcast. We appreciate all the likes and stuff that we get on Facebook, but it helps us more out if you go to the YouTube page. And I have it pinned in the top. It's our YouTube channel. You can go there, and if you're new and you want to see exciting content, exciting to us content, you can check that out. It's real easy to subscribe. It has it right there. Or you can watch the full podcast episodes, any of the videos. It shows up at the end. You can just scroll right to the end if you don't want to watch them and you just want to subscribe, whatever. So that's there. We're also on Instagram. You can follow us there. It's just the original Father Son Voiceover Podcast. If you have any questions, feel free to email us. You can email me at hudsonbarsness@yahoo.com. No uppercases, no crazy things in there.
Last week, we featured an oyster festival down in North Carolina, and we got quite a few likes from good old folks down south in North Carolina, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, other places. So thank you for liking the podcast on Facebook. We got a whole different audience just watching our time down there, our exciting time at the Oyster Festival. That was a great time.
Yeah, I also just wanted to thank Cal. He sent me a picture, and we'll show it here. He's starting his young ones off early, real early.
Starting them out right.
Yeah, starting them out right. Yeah. You'll see it. But Lainey, his oldest of 2, he and Kylie, she was sitting there with their phone, their phone, one of their phones. So thanks, Cal, for sending that. And I guess without further ado, we'll just get right into episode 31. We'll leave the train station.
Let's do it.
Hey, this is Bill DeWeese, pro voiceover talent and voiceover career coach. And this is the original Father Son Voiceover Podcast.
we are, episode 31.
3-1.
The original father-son voiceover podcast. Who would have thunk it? That we are already into the 30s.
Crazy.
Into October.
Yeah, beautiful day.
Almost November. Yeah.
Today. Lots of people out doing stuff with their leaves and
Yeah, that's one of the things that
mowing.
we're gonna do the Mazomanie site-wise, and that's one of the things that I'm very, very grateful. We live in the village of Mazomanie, and for many years we had to gather up our leaves and take them to a compost place. But now they got a leaf sucker, a big vacuum. And they come around regularly, and that's really nice.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a truck if you don't have. But I'll be honest with you, I'm going on record here. I miss the old days
the smelling of
when you
burning
could
leaves.
burn leaves. That's one of my favorite things to do, is to burn leaves. Probably wasn't my neighbor's favorite thing when they were hanging out their clothes or had their windows open on a nice day, and I was burning leaves and it was suffocating them. But that was one of my favorite things to do, is to burn leaves. But the second favorite thing is for the village to come and pick them up. So all the village guys, gals, we know you don't get a lot of positive reinforcement, as it were, but we're grateful for what you do, and keep up the good work.
Yep.
See, it's positive and encouraging here.
Yep.
That's what we're all about here.
Uplifting. Yep.
So that's one off of the Mazomanie site-wise. So we
Okay.
kind of started out with that, but now we've got to go backwards.
We've got to go
We'll come
back.
to
Joe's
it.
not here, as you can see. Drew's not here as well. We've got
Empty chairs.
empty
Skeleton crew.
chairs. Yeah, we got one
Sad.
sack of potatoes over here, Todd, and on the couch potatoes.
But we do have the taste test later, and we had more. We had Mom up here, too.
Yep,
we sure
So
did.
we had
Little
5 tasters and one guy doing it. So that was good. We made up for it.
Yeah. So what we'll do is, like Dad said, this is the 31st episode of the original father-son voiceover podcast. And John is going to step in for Joe here.
Yep.
And hit us with Wisconsin Heights Weekly.
Yeah. All right. So the big talk around town, there was
Boom.
actually a tour of both Black Earth and Mazo with, I think, fire trucks and things like that.
Yep, a parade kind of.
Yeah, parade of sorts. Samantha Herrling and Kirk Caminiti are going to state for cross country for Heights. So that's a big deal. Congrats to those two.
Are you going on to something else?
I don't have to. No,
Well,
I
I
was
just
going
want-
to, but
Were you going to
not
talk
a
more
problem.
about Kirk and
I don't
Samantha?
have a whole. I mean, besides the fact that Kirk is a sophomore, I believe,
Yeah,
so that's pretty
yeah,
impressive. I don't know too much
know how
about
old
Samantha
Samantha
Herrling,
is.
but
I think she might be a senior.
Okay,
but nevertheless, since 1982, I've been doing a lot of running. I don't run very fast. I run a fair distance and for a length of time. Now I run for minutes, not miles. But I remember being in high school and thinking about being in cross country, and I'd watch those guys train with Lee Eklund when I was a kid. There were the Schultz brothers, Donnie and Ronnie, and there was Jeff Redemond, and there was the Winch boys and Bob Wick, and Dave Calkins. They went to state and won state as a team several times. And I remember watching them just run and run and run. And I thought, I'm sorry, I've got to have some sort of a goal, not just winning the race. And so hats off to these people that go out there, because it is just honestly running that hard and pushing yourself is just plain hard work. So I'm just saying, I mean,
It's something I stay away from.
is try to stay away from that kind of hard work as much as possible. Because I want to stay in shape so that I can, play basketball or play baseball or football or something with a ball, but they don't have anything other than winning the race. And that's just amazing to me that they can do that. That takes endurance and mental toughness. And
I like being able to sprint about 90 feet at a time, maybe sometimes 180 feet, but not much more than that.
Yeah. So congratulations to them.
Yeah. Awesome.
Nice job.
Yep. And then the last thing is, so we're taping this on a Saturday, and the podcast will come out on Wednesday.
Yep.
Question mark, I believe. But in between now and when the podcast goes live, there's a Halloween parade at Wisconsin Heights, the elementary school, it looks like, is having, this will be Monday afternoon. I don't have a specific time. I guess I would think that the Mazo calendar on the website, Wisconsin Heights calendar, or probably even what's happening in Mazo might have something.
You think it'll be during school, or do you think it'll be after? Well, so that parents and stuff can.
I would think it would be at the tail end, probably like the homecoming parade was and all that kind of stuff.
It kind of doesn't matter because they'll have already missed it by the time they see it.
Correct.
But maybe you'll want to put that in your noggin, and maybe there'll be a few pictures that we can show next week and just say, here's what happened at that Halloween costume thing. That'd be fun to see the kids. Didn't they used to? I think they used to come in Halloween and then walk through the halls.
That might be what it is, because it says it's at Wisconsin Heights.
I think that was when they graduated. They would walk through the halls of the elementary schools and stuff like that.
The high school kids?
The seniors would when they were graduating. We did in middle school. You could, if you wanted to, you could dress up in your Halloween costume, and they had a first, second, and third place finishers, and you got certain candy bar or like a good sized one.
I don't remember that, and I don't remember a parade. So I kind of think that it's not something that's it's probably just walking around the school. Yeah. Either inside or, depending on the weather, outside maybe if it's nice enough. I don't know. But yeah, that's coming up Monday afternoon. Well, it'll be post that when you see this, but we'll try to get some pictures, or Joe's got an in because he's in the school, being a part-time EA.
It's too bad he's not here.
I think. Yeah. Anyway, so that concludes what Joe had for this last week. It would be, I guess.
And we're kind of in between. We're kind of in between sports and stuff. Yep. Cross country is the only thing that's going.
Still going.
Those football,
golf,
soccer, and
girls volleyball.
Yeah, that's all completed.
That's a big deal, though, for those guys to make it to state. It's a big deal. State is the ultimate.
You bet.
Goal.
Yeah, it is.
So, and now we would be. Let's move on to the next.
Yeah, let's move on to what we saw this week in Mazo.
You mean sight-wise?
Yeah.
Oh, let me say,
I've been consistently checking the pavement project or building project at Roundy's. They've gotten everything it looks like they've taken out everything they've wanted to of the cement. And then we had quite the rainstorm or thunderstorm. What was that, Sunday night or whatever?
I can't remember,
This is now going to be a week or so past, but there was quite a bit of rain, and there was quite the little pond that built up there. And I don't know if that's what's helped made it so they can't. I mean, it's gone now, but if that's what they weren't able to get the work done or whatever they're doing, I don't know what it is. But there has not been any sort of movement besides the fact that it looks like they're done with the demolition of what they want.
I've always wondered what they do, like on construction sites or building of houses, which would be a construction site, I guess. Do they have like what they call sump pumps or something like that would blow the water out, suck the water out, or do they just let it dry?
I don't know.
Because sometimes,
I don't know what their goal is or what their date of completion is. I don't even know what they're going to do there on the west side of Walter Road, just south of the buildings. Yep. I don't know if it started to kind of cave in and deteriorate because they have big semis on there loaded with stuff all the time sitting. And so I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what they do down there.
Yeah.
Maybe Bob Wick knows.
Yeah.
He probably
fill
does.
us in. And then work continues down on that building right across from Mix It Up Fitness. I don't know what's going in there still.
The old barber shop back when I was a kid.
Yeah, yesterday when I was there, they were doing work on the roof. I don't know what they do on there. But
I've seen that as I walk down to the gym all the time. And people on top of the roof kind of looking at stuff. And
does anybody out there know what's going in there?
Scott Johannick might know.
Yeah. Do you guys, could you comment and just let us know, if you know the owners or if you know what kind of a store or what kind of an organization? Yeah, that'd be kind of nice to do that so we're not just guessing.
Yeah. And then going around town, Mazo does a nice job of getting decorated for the seasons.
That's right.
Halloween, there's lots of pumpkins out for sure. There's skeletons and some even kind of...
The promenade is dressed up nicely.
There is also like several places that have these big spider web looking things.
before we go on, what's your favorite Halloween decoration that people put out? Are you a pumpkin guy? Are you spiders? Like what do you, because I have something in mind personally, and maybe maybe you want me to start out with it.
Sure.
My favorite thing is the witch that's wrapped around a tree like this.
Yeah,
they're
with their
flying with their
broomstick.
broom.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's
John
pretty
and
good.
Pam Shepard used to be our neighbors next door in the Red House. They always had one that they put in. I always thought that was just really clever.
Yeah.
I just thought it was really,
Yeah.
that's my favorite one. So when I see that, I think it's pretty funny.
Good pumpkin carvings are good.
Yeah.
They're fun to see because some people are pretty creative. I'm sure
Artistic,
some of them use like
Stencils.
cut stencils and stuff, but it's still impressive because I wouldn't be able to even probably do a perfect job on a stencil.
That's
so.
kind of that would kind of be my thing. I kind of like to see, sometimes I like to see the ones where the little kids have cut it and it's just mangled, but it's just a little kid trying
their
his
best
best.
try.
That's fun.
Yep.
And then the elaborate ones are always like, how did they do that? Because that's not easy to cut. It's just not easy, at least with the tools that I've ever had to cut pumpkins. Hey, speaking of the promenade, just there for Halloween, I saw just a few doors down, Dennis O'Connell, Dennis and Tony. Dennis had a picture there with I think it's his granddaughter, sitting there on the hay bales.
Oh, yeah.
That was kind of a nice
Yeah,
picture.
nice.
Last thing I've got is I've heard that there is a potential store going up on Highway 14 by the bus barn.
That's kind of across from the EMS, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, that's where the bus barn
I
is.
think it's
In
going to be
between
closer.
Car Valley
it's
and
a little bit further east.
Dollar General.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but on that
side of Dollar
on
General.
the south side,
of
yeah.
It'd be kind of close to the Badger Den. Or,
Yeah.
Badger Den.
No, it's not the Badger Den.
Coffee.
Mazo Grind. Yep.
Mazo Grind, yeah.
Yeah. It's been
Fat Mike's. It used to be Fat Mike's, the pizza place.
Club 14.
Club 14.
So if
there you
people
go.
kind of know what's going on there, I heard from a person that is
From a
a
source.
neighbor
Okay.
of where that will be. She'll be a neighbor to that place, but she wasn't 100% sure on what it's going to be yet. But there's talk that the person that bought that property, I think they even own, maybe they don't own the bus barn property, but that property that's next to it at least, that there is something going in. I don't know when.
Interesting.
But
Or
that's
what?
the scuttlebutt. But we'll keep an eye on that for you all. So that's what I've got.
I got just a couple of
I've
things.
got one
but you
more
have one.
thing. I got almost every, the last couple of years, right out in front of our house, we see at this time of year, there's a pileated woodpecker that comes. And we tried to get a video and we just couldn't get it. It was right at our bird. It was right at our bird feeder.
Yeah.
And they're the big ones. They're the big woodpecker. They're woody woodpecker size. So that was just, for some reason, every year about this time, at least for the last 3-4 years, we've seen a pileated woodpecker go to the same tree. So that was just.
Yeah, you and Mom spotted it, I think, and then
It was right at our
alerted it
bird
to us.
feeder.
And we saw it, then it flew across on Yasik's property. We tried to get, you guys went out and tried to get, she
tried
saw
and
it, but
tried.
it just,
Yeah.
they're elusive. They're not like some of the other smaller birds. That's why you probably don't see them as much. They're like the big bucks hiding out in the.
Smart ones.
So this comes out on Wednesday. Then tomorrow,
Sunday.
Nope, Thursday.
Nope.
Thursday.
this
I see
is
what you're saying.
I'm talking as if tomorrow. You're watching this on a Wednesday.
Yep.
And Thursday there's a knit and craft gathering at 1855 Coffee House.
Nice.
A knit and craft. I don't know what time. You'll have to look it up. I'm sure they have information down there on the 1855 Coffee House website or Facebook page or what's happening in Mazo. I know that Jim Schrader, former Heights principal and such, they live south of town. Yep, teacher. They're looking for members to help out with the Iron Horse Community Choir that's going to be singing for the Christmas concert, community-wide Christmas concert coming up December 10th. And they practice on Tuesday nights, and you just have to get a hold of Aniela Lemansky-Haas.
Correct. There you have it.
She's the
part
choir
of it.
director, and
Nice.
so
Nice.
you can find that information on what's happening in Mazo as well. And also coming up, a big thing is the Wisconsin Heights annual craft show out at the high school, grade school, elementary, everything under one roof school now. Saturday, November 12th, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. So it's huge.
Yeah.
It
It's
is
huge.
yes.
There's no parking. I mean,
Yeah.
when you
And
go past there, there's hardly any
Zero
parking.
parking.
Well,
There might be.
There's not
They
much
added
parking
some
once they start
parking
getting in. Yeah, true.
out towards the
Might be able, they did that for the craft
tracks.
fair.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Once a year.
not just for women. It's a female dominated crowd. There's no doubt about that. And I know that it originally was started, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the rumor that I heard many years ago, guys that were going out deer hunting.
Oh, nice.
And so
yeah.
it was an opportunity for the women to kind of
Nice.
gather together and do something fun. So anyway, take advantage of that. And then just lastly, locally, Pearl Hayes, who is a friend of our family and mother-in-law to Bob Wick, Lori Hayes Wick. She's 90 years old now.
Wow.
Just this last week, she turned 90 years old. If you come around our area up on here on Whitechapel and Broadhead, she and Lori are always walking. They walk twice around the block, twice a day. She walks better than I do a lot of times. I'm stiffer than she is, it seems like. She's 90. She just turned 90 years old. And her niece, I just saw them outside today when we're recording this. Her niece is here from California. And so now there's 3 women walking up here. Lori, Pearl, Mama Pearl, and then the gal from
California.
Is it Bonnie?
I think her name is Bonnie. Yep.
Nice.
So congratulations, Pearl.
Yeah.
Glad to have you around.
Amazing.
Wonderful, wonderful gal.
By the way, this is a fun fact. You talked about the knit and craft.
Yeah.
I know how to knit. That might be a little bit of a weird thing, but I learned how to knit when I was younger.
Yeah.
So
What did you knit? You remember?
I tried
knitting?
knitting scarves, mostly scarves because they were just straight.
Yeah.
But what got really tough was when you had like the main thread that was kind of the thickness.
Yeah.
And then you had another thread it was a little bit like frilly, and you had 2 at the same time, and you had to intertwine them. Sometimes you mess up and you'd lose a loop or something. I think you started with like 6 or 8 loops or maybe 7. Can't remember exactly, but I remember that you'd stick it through, wrap it around, pull it off, both of them, and take a little while to do that.
I'm probably biased and stereotypical and weird here, but you just don't look like the typical. When I think about a knitter, you don't look like the typical knitter, but I probably don't know all the knitters.
No.
There's probably all sorts of big, husky, strong, superstar baseball players. That,
I heard
knit.
it's like those football players that do ballet and stuff like that. It really helps with your hand-eye coordination.
Or
I don't know.
pianists and things like that. Yeah, it just kind of surprises you. It's stereotypical, but nevertheless.
If you want to be good at baseball, you need to knit.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep, that's his tip for today.
Is that all we've got?
Yeah.
That's all for this
I think
segment,
that
I think.
covers it for us.
Yeah.
Next up, we have a surprise taste test, whatever Dad comes up with. So
It's a food that has been around probably as long as you've been around because it came out. Oh, I won't say it's almost as old as I am. So it's been around a long time.
we'll tease it.
Yep.
But we'll talk about it. And anyway,
Yep.
sounds good. So come back right after this for our taste test.
Hey, how you doing? This is Todd and Hudson. This episode of the original Father-Son voiceover podcast is reverse sponsored by Wick Buildings right here in Mazomanie. For over 65 years, Wick Buildings has designed, engineered, and built quality post-frame buildings. So whether you need an agricultural building, a barn dominium, a pole barn home or a pole barn, a commercial building, or an equestrian building, head over to Wick Buildings' website, wickbuildings.com. Over 75,000 buildings built since 1954. Wick Buildings, your dreams, our building expertise. Together, we can build something special. And Wick Buildings, a reverse sponsor of the original Father-Son voiceover podcast.
Now back to more of the original Father-Son voiceover podcast.
All right. So the original Father-Son voiceover podcast
Taste test.
test. We've had chicken fingers or
Tenders,
What else have we had?
Pringles.
Coke products.
Pringles.
And is that it?
Cheez-Its.
Oh, Cheez-Its. Nice.
Cheez-Its. All right. So
Cheez-Its.
we are unveiling this product. You see that?
This is going to be trouble because.
What is it?
Fruit Loops.
Do you know?
Fruit Loops.
So
Do you know?
Wow,
do you
okay.
know the myth or the possible fact behind these? Anybody? That supposedly all of them are the same flavor.
So that's a very good point. I'm glad you brought that up. So which side?
I'm sorry.
go over
I
here,
just.
would you?
So
There you go. There you go. Yep.
So we're going to have kind of a taste test. That's why you need to have water to cleanse your
The
palate.
old palate.
And we're having an experiment.
All right.
And so you're going to have to write down, there are 6 flavors, 6 colors, and you're going to have to write them down. You're going to be on an honor system, and I'm going to hand you several of them, of each one, and you're going to stick it in your mouth without looking at the color, and then you're going to try to guess each color.
Okay, I like that.
And so there will be not only trying to guess the color, but there'll be the experiment. Is
Yeah,
there
they
any taste difference?
This is gonna be huge.
All right?
So we'll have to close our eyes,
Yep.
keep our hands closed.
Clenched.
Yep.
So you tell us in
Well,
the
I mean, if our
comments,
eyes are closed, you should be able to put it in your mouth with your eyes closed.
but you don't want to look
Just
at
try
it
not
and
to
then
look-
because that would just
with your
Be
eyes
on the
closed?
honor system.
And
Yeah.
people can say if they
just
have
reach
racy
out.
eyes open.
Just
then
reach
I'm going to
out.
set them in here. You close it. I'm stick it in your mouth.
I
I'll
keep
try to
my
give a
eyes
few
closed
for
the whole
each one.
time.
Okay? And
Just get one try, right?
Yep. Yeah, let's do that. And then I'm going to spit some facts about Fruit Loops as we go.
Okay.
So-
It's the Kellogg's, right?
So what are the?
Stop
are you
stealing
gonna
my
tell us? Are you gonna tell us
yeah,
the flavors?
it's Kellogg's. No.
But,
You've
but
gotta guess.
the different flavors.
no, we don't.
Afterwards.
We got to close our eyes so we can't see.
Are
what's
these
in
all the
there.
same color?
But
But
are
what are the options?
That's why I said we need to close our eyes before Dad distributes
I
them.
didn't
or
know
else
he
we'll-
was going to start pouring them on into his hand.
No, that's why I was saying
Start
that
with
I
the
was going to
different.
say
Go
that.
start with a
I didn't
different
start
one.
with
I
a
saw
different
that
one
Oh,
and-
you mean as far as on here?
They already saw what color you were
That's
doing.
okay. That's okay.
But it's not.
So there's
Red, green.
red, which is cherry.
Okay.
Cherry.
Red cherry,
There's lime, which is green.
green, slime.
Lemon,
Yeller.
grape, orange, and blueberry.
Okay.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Those are the 6 colors. Now, it'd be really helpful if once you write that down, everybody close their eyes. Everybody will all have the fair shake here. Everybody close their eyes.
What was the other one? There's red, yellow, purple,
Blue.
Orange,
and green.
green lime. Yep.
What was yellow? Lemon.
Lemon.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
Yep. Okay. So everybody close their eyes.
Tell
Here's
us in the
some-
comments if anybody
I
cheats
just
with
need
their
one.
eyes
I'm
open.
just gonna
No.
go one.
Nope. I'm giving you that.
Is this is all one color?
Yep.
Okay.
Oops.
I feel like I already know that.
No.
I saw the ones you poured in your hand, Dad.
That's
all
all
right.
right.
That's all right.
But then I'm gonna
It's okay.
guess. Yeah.
Just go with it.
I'm keeping my eyes closed the whole time.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Stick
we
it
should
in your
eat these.
mouth And chew, and see if you can guess which color that
That'd
is,
be
which
tough.
flavor that is. And don't call it out. You know, don't try to mix people up because we're doing an experiment here. Whether there's a taste for different ones, or whether there's no taste difference, or if you can taste a slight difference.
Did I get all of them?
Yep. All right. You can cleanse your palate just a little bit and write down what color you think that is. Maybe we'll just be guessing.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see.
I already saw it,
And
so.
as Drew said, this was Fruit Loops were originated Kellogg's in Battle Creek, Michigan, about half an hour from where Mom grew up. 45 minutes.
Yep, visited
Okay.
there when
All
I
right,
was.
close our
I
eyes.
visited there when I was about 10 years old.
All right, I didn't see
Went
this
through the
one.
whole
That's good.
factory, and
Yep.
at the end you could buy
Close your eyes and tell
a
the
Kellogg's
Okay.
a Kellogg's spoon, and I got a Tony the Tiger
Nice.
spoon.
They're great.
All right. Yep, there it was.
Fruit Loops always makes good milk. Like when you get done with,
Fruit Loops makes milk.
Well, just it makes the milk at the bottom. That it's
Okay.
pretty good. Can we go?
Yep. Yeah, just go ahead when you get it. You can go ahead.
This is terrible.
So try to think about what what flavor you're eating.
Now that I can't see them, you can tell that they all taste the same.
Hudson,
Well, I'm just saying.
Kellogg's.
It's the truth.
you tried two.
Listen. Kellogg's introduced these in 1963 when Mom and I were 3 years old.
Wow.
So we grew up with Fruit Loops. We couldn't really afford them. We didn't have Fruit Loops unless we had a coupon.
Coops. Without coops.
So and now it's hard to afford them because I think
wrong
this
one.
box was like $6 or something.
What is it? A family box?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, here comes the next one. Number 3.
expensive.
Close your eyes.
Thank you.
Here you go, Joe.
I gotta cleanse my palate. And palate cleanse. Just like in science, when you weren't supposed to just smell whatever was in the beaker, you had to waft it. So
All right.
Wow, they are chewing right in the microphone.
Here's another fun fact. Let me see if Mom, who visited Kellogg's and saw them making Fruit Loops, how do you spell Fruit Loops?
Ooh.
FROOTLOOPS.
That's right.
Ooh.
I thought it was always Fruit Loops, but it's FROOT.
Yeah.
All right.
They also gave you, when you walked out, they also gave you one of
the
those.
factory?
Yep, out of the factory. They handed you those mini boxes that
Yeah.
are like 6 in a container.
Nice.
Just as a.
So just like the bags of chips, there's only 6 in
Here we
in
go.
those little bags.
Another one. Number
be.
4.
I didn't realize you had so many Fruit Loop stories.
Well, it's Kellogg's. It's not just Fruit
No, they
Loops.
had
She
a
only
variety.
went
You guys
one
remember the
time.
variety pack?
Yep.
Oh, we
Yeah,
wanted
that was
the
the best.
variety pack. when I
Yeah,
was
then
a
you could
kid.
really tell
The
which
Sugar
ones were.
Smacks
Apple Jack.
and Apple Jacks.
Sugar
and-
Smacks.
What was it?
Sugar Smacks.
Yep, said that already.
Oh, sorry.
Did
Tony the
you,
Tiger.
did you close your eyes?
Frosted
Did you blink
Flakes.
your eyes?
Oh, sugar
Frosted Flakes they had.
Joe.
Oh,
Sugar
and
Puffs.
Raisin Bran. That was always the one at our house that never got eaten
Oh, sugar
until
puffs.
later. So we were forced to eat.
You got to put
it.
enough sugar on those dogs in order to make them good.
Oh,
All right,
sugar
we are
puffs.
up to number 5. Cleanse your palate and. Got any more stories, Beck?
washed and cleansed.
Here we go.
I can't drink and talk at the
Lock.
same time.
Close your eyes, please.
Most
Nobody
people
can.
can't. Yeah.
Ah, Jeff can.
Close your eyes.
Yeah.
You're each getting about a full bowl of Fruit Loops here.
Wow.
I haven't had cereal in a long time until now. Sorry to Cal and Kylie Handel for the
Crunching.
crunching
to-
and smacking.
Cal, I mean, we understand your preference, but it's hard to have a taste test without eating on the set. So
It's kind of ironic that he can't handle this.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Last one.
the
Hit me with this.
mascot, Drew, is for Fruit Loops.
It's a parrot.
What's his
Toucan
name?
Sam.
Toucan
Toucan
Sam.
Sam.
Hudson, who was the voiceover talent that originally did Toucan Sam on the cartoons and on the commercials?
No idea.
The most famous of all, the man of
Mel
unfollowed.
Blanc?
Mel Blanc
Oh,
did it.
I was actually going to
Last
guess
one.
that, but
Here we go.
I should have said it instead of saying that I was going to
Eyes
say it. 'Cause that's what.
closed.
1 second.
And that sounds like a mom.
Yeah, it
guess.
does. Yeah, I know. That's why I said
Oh,
I should have
wow,
just
that's
said it
exactly what I
instead.
was thinking. Well, it didn't sound like that's
Yeah,
what you were
yeah.
thinking.
Why did you say it?
I'll get you, Joe.
Okay.
Here we go, coming back at you.
These are all exactly the same. So that myth, that's not a myth, by the way.
Well, if somebody gets them all right, then you might be wrong.
Yeah, it's true. Maybe I have no taste. Hudson, we found that you have no taste perception.
Okay.
All right.
Hold on, I got
That kid that needed to study for a test.
If Hudson gets
Tell me
things
when
right,
you're
he doesn't
ready.
all of a sudden say that. I could kind of tell it. There was a
No,
difference.
I couldn't.
I'll tell you what, I keep think I'm tasting lime or lemon or
If I get one right, I'll be happy.
Okay,
Something like
so let's go
lemongrass.
through it. First, let's take a vote. Did you taste a hint of difference?
Not
Not
I
a-
think I did.
You did?
I think so.
Okay,
That's
well,
false.
you'll be able to tell by your answers.
She's
I've
been to the
probably-
factory before, so
Yeah.
I hope she gets 0 right.
And
just
it
for
was
that
very
comment.
noisy in there.
Well, I
Very,
bet.
from all those conveyor belts going and making
yeah.
all that, all the sorting and shaking. And
Was it, like I've seen hot dogs made and different things like that. Was it gross to see cereal made?
Not
Or
really.
Not so bad.
No. Nope.
Mom's like the
I heard that they're made
cereal
from, like,
expert here. We're going to her for all these questions.
She did go to school with some Kellogg's too, didn't
What's
you?
that?
They're not the same Kellogg's, but you went to school with some guys named
Yes,
Kellogg.
I did.
Yeah.
They were actually professional
One was
umpires,
Jeff, yep.
Jeff,
which is
Jeff Kellogg.
Jeff
was,
Kellogg, and then there was
He just retired a couple
then
years
there
ago.
was what was the other guy's name? He
they
wasn't
were
Kellogg.
The
but-
Welkies, the
the
Welkie
Welkies.
boys.
How about
Tim-
that?
Tim Welkie and
Bill.
Bill Welkie.
Yeah, they were professional
Yep.
MLB umpires. Amazing.
All right, the first one is, what do you think? Joe, we'll give you.
I said lemon.
Anybody have?
I
something?
cheated because I saw his blueberry.
It was blueberry. So if Drew's the
Yeah,
only
one
one
right.
who
You get
gets
one
that
right.
right, it was blueberry.
I got it right.
That's number one. Number two, Johnny, any idea?
Orange.
Yellow.
Cherry.
It was cherry. Did you get the first one right? Judy?
No,
I
she did
know.
not.
That's why I should have said they all tasted the same.
Yeah.
Third was Joe.
Orange.
Grape.
Lemon.
I had lime.
Lime is correct.
Oh.
I'm down to one here.
Yeah, me too.
Did I
Me
get
too.
right, basically? Or
Fourth is
I bet you it's orange,
Purple.
isn't it?
Orange.
I had grape.
lemon
Four was grape.
or yellow.
I have a
Lemon
chance
or yellow.
still. I still have a chance for 2.
4 was grape.
Nope. 4 was
4 you said was lemon.
lemon. Yep.
And what was? No, that was 3.
5 is grape or
I got 2 right, baby.
and
Final one's orange.
yep. 6 is orange. How many people got? Did you get 1 right?
Yep.
Okay. How many did you get?
She
2?
can taste the difference though.
You got 3 right. What did you get?
I didn't get any right.
Did you get any right?
2.
2.
1.
But honestly, was it just
I
luck?
think I was.
I think he was
I
looking at
think-
my paper.
How many did you
Wait,
get
wait,
right?
I
but you
got
got
1
1
I
right.
know.
Why would he look
I
at your
think he was-
paper?
I think he was looking at my paper.
How many did you get right, Drew?
So
that
Drew
follows.
got 3 right.
I
If
thought
you
I
take
thought
a-
most of them tasted the same. I found myself at the end just kind of licking on the last little pieces to see if there was anything I could pick up. I couldn't pick anything up.
Nothing like soggy Fruit Loops at the end of your bowl of cereal with some.
Here's the thing: is I bought that box maybe a month ago, and
That's
so
why I was struggling.
my first test was that I tested all of
You know what we
the.
should do real quick?
Yeah.
Why don't we run through them and you can see them and put them in your mouth and see if you're picking up a blueberry taste or an orange taste.
Well,
'Cause
okay,
that might-
we can do that, but I'd have to separate them all because I don't have enough in the cups. I should have saved a little bit
Just
more.
pour them in. We'll just grab one.
No, that's fine.
There's plenty here.
That's okay.
That's
Well,
okay. We're
The
having a
thing
good-
is
we're having a
that's
good
what
time.
I
That's good
found
enough.
out was when I was there's something psychological about it because when you're sitting there eating them and you know the color, I think you can think you got a hint of that.
I think that's what they found out is that they're saving money. They're holding money. They're taking that back from
Where
you.
are
They
the
think, hey,
flavors?
they're
The
just it's just
spices?
in your mind. They're
Where are
playing.
the
It's
cheese?
about
Joe
intimidation.
always goes
mind
after
games.
somebody each week.
Yeah, he's a conspiracy theorist. when it comes to-
That's what's happening. They've
Fruit
said,
Loops.
hey, we can get away with this. We can get away with this now. They used to put the flavoring on it, and now they don't.
Well, here's the thing. This is
There's
you
no
can look this
flavors.
up on. I think it might be Wikipedia. So whether it's true or not, I don't know. But supposedly in the UK, they made them differently to honor the flavors.
Oh.
Kellogg said there's no difference. They all have a fruity blend.
Where are the flavors?
But
Spices.
but they've proven that's not
Or no
right
cheaps.
from taste tests. That's not true. That the UK they don't have any different
They're
flavors either
liars.
because it would
They're
cost
known.
too much to do them individually. But mentally, you pick out the red ones and you say, yeah, I think I can maybe taste a little cherry. Oh, that's a little blueberry. But
They're
as
all
you
the
see,
same.
they're all the same.
I think we
They're all
might
the
be.
same.
I think we might be ruining Fruit Loops for some people.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Here's
Santa
one
Claus
other
isn't
thing.
real as well.
One
if you
other
didn't know
thing.
that.
Originally in 1963, there were only three colors in Fruit Loops.
We
I didn't
should
know
guess.
Uh huh.
I'm gonna guess.
What do you
Yeah.
think, Drew?
I think it was lemon, grape, and cherry.
I'll guess. I think it was red, yellow, and green.
Yeah, use the colors. Use the colors if you can, because I wrote those down. What the original
Red.
ones were.
Purple and yellow.
I'm gonna say red,
You got 2 out of 3.
red, blue, and yellow.
Oh, it's probably red, blue, and green because
You
of
got
prime
2 out of
colors.
So it's
What did you
red.
say?
It's red, blue, and
Red,
purple.
No.
Red, purple, and orange.
I
Red,
said
yellow,
red,
blue.
green, and yellow.
Red,
Blue, and orange.
orange, and yellow.
Red,
Were
orange,
the
and
3
yellow.
colors.
Interesting.
In the 1990s, green, blue, and purple were introduced and added.
Really?
I think the 3 colors are red, yellow, and blue.
Primary, right.
I think if we watch it back, you said green.
How many?
Red, blue, and yellow.
Roy G. Biv, though, are the colors of the rainbow.
A couple
you
of
go.
other things. We got just a couple minutes here. For the calories,
Oh, wow.
for a cup and a third with milk, how much with milk?
What
Becky?
milk are we drinking?
I'll say
It's
2%.
That's milk. Skin is not milk.
I can't read it here.
Want me to see?
No, because then you'll see it.
Oh,
Just say milk.
True.
It's okay.
Okay.
200 calories.
Just
Anybody
a nice
else?
even 250.
140.
With milk, I'm gonna say 250. What'd you say?
I'm gonna
260.
say 261.
Nice. 210.
Oh, right on
Almost
it.
right.
Nailed it.
Wow.
That's because I
That's
went
because
there.
she went
Well,
there.
yeah,
Yeah, she's
and I
cheater.
was, yeah.
No, she's.
I just
It's not fair.
She has
She's a Fruit Loops
she has a competitive
historian.
advantage here.
But like a cup and a third is, you don't want.
I'd like to
that
see how
whole
much that fills
cereal.
up of a.
Joe,
Barely the bottom.
what are the top 3 ingredients in order? Well,
Joe,
top
don't
3.
give me no green ingredients.
Any idea?
Top ingredients are, like how specific are we getting into this? I mean, I know there's wheat in there, grains.
Okay.
So grains,
Don't
multi-grains.
don't say flavors because there's not flavors in there.
Well, there are flavors. I mean, it tastes.
There's sugar,
Okay.
and there is.
Cheeps.
Just give me a second. You guys are looking at me like
I
you
feel
need
like
it
we're
right
giving
now.
you seconds.
Sugar, and grains, and syrup.
Okay. Anybody
Syrup.
want to take a guess? The top 3? He had a very general one.
I had all 3.
No, you had 2 of them.
sugar,
Flour.
sodium,
Flour's in there.
and
Sodium.
Red number
And,
6.
Flour's a grain.
Corn
Vegetable
flour
oil.
blend.
Corn flour.
Okay.
Whole grain yellow corn flour.
Okay, there's one. Right answer.
Degerminated yellow corn flour. Sugar is
Okay,
the
that's
second.
2.
And
I
then
got 2.
wheat flour.
Okay, I got
Those are
all
the
3.
3 top ingredients. Some of them I couldn't.
Hey, let's go through quick here, and let's.
Sorry, that's
Joe,
all 3.
you
I
already
got.
lost. Let's go through here, and let's starting with Mom. Let's go around and reminisce. Talk about our favorite. If you could have one type of cereal, what would that be? What was your favorite cereal?
I mean Kellogg's or just
Just
any.
what is
Lost
your
her
favorite
ability
cereal?
To have it now?
Like Honey Nut Cheerios.
There you go. Okay,
And she has them every day, basically.
she sure
That's
does.
That's true.
What about you, Drew?
I would probably have to say Marshmallow Mateys.
This is the generic version of
like
Lucky
how he
Charms.
does
You mean Lucky
What is that?
Charms?
As a
Marshmallow
grown
Mateys are
man.
those
Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms.
Charms, yeah.
Is
But
that
they're
the brand name?
Here's
They're
the thing.
better, though.
Here's the thing.
Yep.
I know what you're gonna
They
say.
I know where
they
you're going.
used to
Yep, I know
General
where
Mills.
Yep. Kellogg's.
I'm calling you on the mat here,
Yep.
okay?
Not a
I don't
sponsor.
know if
Yep.
the government has gotten after you about having too much sugar in your product.
Trouble.
But now the generic companies have a lot better tasting cereal. It used to be Cocoa Pebbles.
Yep.
Really liked Cocoa Pebbles, but then they weren't very sugary. Maybe my taste buds have changed. I don't think so.
No, they've taken out. the
They've taken
sugar.
sugar. It
tastes like lies. That's what it tastes
an
like.
actual-
But anyway, that's what I would say is probably a Marshmallow Mateys.
Joseph?
I'd probably go with cinnamon toast crunch.
Those are good cinnamon toasters.
I'm Berry Colossal Crunch all the way, which is Captain Crunch. But
And
it's the
those
off.
come with a price though. It's like they just rip up the top of your mouth.
They can.
But those they stay. The reason I like those,
It's like the beginning of a baseball season. You got to get
Sunflower
those
seeds.
sunflower
Ooh, yeah.
seeds.
Gotta get a callus in your mouth.
Yeah, scabs or not scabs.
Scabs.
Calluses.
We're eating
Calluses
calluses
on your
over here. The reason I like those is because they stay hard, crunchy, longer than other things do. Some of those stuff they get real soggy real quick, and it's like I'm halfway done. I want that crunch.
It's well, you
Crunch
get
a
it.
timey, Captain, but a
Crunch-a-timey.
berry colossal crunch.
There you go.
Anyway,
Probably
with crunch
Reese's
berries.
Puffs are good.
Oh, Reese's Puffs.
Oh.
Dad, oatmeal, right?
Well, no. See, like a real special treat were Fruit Loops when I was a kid, because like we had usually like toast and I don't even remember what kind of cereal we had. Once in a while we'd get Life.
Yeah.
What that was. That was big.
The game.
Mikey.
You got to put sugar
He'll
in
eat
that
anything.
though.
No,
Yeah, but you're not
Dad,
supposed to.
Aren't you big
Wow.
into? Weren't you big into? What's the brand stuff called?
Raisin
Bran.
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm not really hot on the raisins. I like raisins fine, but not.
In your
They kind
cereal.
of hurt my teeth when
Oh.
you're chewing on the bran, and then you hit a raisin that's sugary and a little bit hard.
And you have
Sounds like
frozen
Honey
soft
bunches of oats, things like that. You know, that are kind
With
of
the clusters in them?
Yeah, they're kind of.
Try to feed America.
But when we were down at Myrtle Beach in North Carolina, to go along with my rabbit food that I have to eat to be healthy, bran buds, I had crackling oat bran, and I haven't had that for a few years, and I like that quite a bit too. It's kind of a sugary, makes you feel like you're doing something right when you're eating crackling oat bran. So you guys all picked more.
like
except
you're
for Mom,
losing
you
weight
took more
eating it.
younger.
Well,
people
that's
like sugar.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for enjoying the taste test. Up next, we've got our. What do you got for us up
in the
next?
state of Georgia.
Oh, Georgia on my mind.
Deep in the heart of Georgia. Okay, we'll be back with state facts in
Yeah.
Georgia with Drew.
Ron Johnson hates kittens. If Ron Johnson is reelected, he'll round up all the kittens and ship them off to another country. When voting in the Senate, Ron Johnson voted 95% of the time against cute, cuddly kitten laws. And he'll do it again if reelected. Ron Johnson is no friend of your kittens. And that means he's no friend of yours. This November, vote yes for cute, cuddly kittens. Paid for by the Cat Food Producers of America. Not endorsed by any candidate or candidates committee.
I'll welcome you, and you can't see me, but you can hear me. This is the final part of episode number 31 of the original father-son voiceover podcast. Johnny's at the table throwing things. Hudson's going to make it to the table in just a moment. Joe is on the computer, or as our little boys used to say, computers when they first came from New Orleans. And Dookie Meister is here. Drew is here, repping the Stangs.
Jersey.
What else has
And
Drew got
the
for
Stangs
us?
jersey, and he is going to take care of what state, Drew?
Georgia.
Georgia.
Georgia comes right after Florida.
Sweet Georgia Brown.
Sounds like you're excited about it.
How many songs, Georgia? Or maybe you're going to talk about that. How many songs were made up of Georgia?
Well, I wasn't going to.
Georgia
well, why
on
don't
my
we do that?
mind.
Yep. Sweet Georgia Brown. The Harlem Globetrotters.
I don't know anymore.
Midnight Train
Midnight
to
Train
Georgia.
to Georgia. Gladys Knight in the Pips.
She's leaving. Woo-hoo. Yeah, true. That's the best part of that song.
Yep.
I don't
There's
know
probably some
anymore.
other
There
ones.
probably
Probably
are.
country songs and
Oh yeah.
hillbilly songs. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
All right, Drew, take it away, Ernie.
I was pretty close to the state of Georgia, Savannah, when I was in North and South Carolina, specifically South Carolina, during my trips last week. Got down to Hilton Head, which I didn't realize is really, really close to was really close to really close to the Georgia border there. So anyway, we can start with kind of some of the mainstays. The state flower of Georgia is the Cherokee rose. It's a white, fragrant
Mom's got it right here.
rose. Oh, come on!
And just before you go on, we won't have
You
to
have something
do
about
we
the
won't have to
fragrant
do
rose?
this anymore. Coming up here soon, Damon and I are in the works of we're going to replace this with a TV, and hopefully there's not a big glare from our lights, and you'll be able to see. Joe will be able to look it up or have them already there. Maybe Damon will do it prior.
Like a slideshow or something.
There you go.
Yep. So then we can put it up there, and you can see it like that. Damon doesn't have to do it in the end.
You're going to have to prepare like a month ahead, though.
Yeah, true.
That's true.
Yeah, I won't be able to do
All right,
it.
sorry. Go ahead.
So, Cherokee Rose is a white, fragrant rose native to southern China and Taiwan, south to Laos and Vietnam. It's an invasive species in the United States.
Is that because it's not? Do they call all types of animals or flowers like that? Do they
Flora.
Yeah. Do they call that invasive when they're not native?
Correct.
Too. So even sometimes you think invasive means like they're bad and stuff like that, but
Well, that's
maybe-
what I thought.
Probably depends on.
Maybe they are,
depends on.
No.
Yeah, I mean, like the pythons that are in the Everglades, those are invasive, and it's always used kind of negatively.
Yeah,
because they're
well, that makes more sense. But like a flower, unless it's like poison oak or poison ivy or something like that, it's like, well, whatever. Which I don't know what those are, but anyway, if those are invasive or not, I just wanted to figure out. I thought they were always a bad thing.
Joe Bob might be finding out what the term invasive means.
Invasive species are animals or plants from another region of the world that don't belong in their new environment.
Yep, they don't belong there.
So it's
They
not
can be
necessarily
introduced.
negative.
They can be introduced to an area by ship ballast water,
Oh, yeah, that's
accidental release, and most often by
Oh,
people.
whoops! I actually transplanted this plant into the soil.
I have to be honest
They have seeds and stuff.
and
Yeah, I know.
say
I just was teasing.
that since we've gotten Joe on the computer,
Podcast has gotten better.
This podcast has gotten a lot more
High tech.
I mean, we come off a lot more intelligent. At first, it was like,
A lot of disclaimers.
yeah, not
Well,
anymore. Right there.
To
Nope.
very least, Joe comes off intelligent.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
That's
Joe's got all the answers.
He's a
We're still walking blind. a lot of
mentor
us.
to us.
Right.
Yep.
The state bird is the brown thrasher. The brown thrasher is a large bird, almost a foot in length, which is pretty good size, with a long curved bill and a very long tail. It has two prominent white wing bars, a rich brown color on its top side, and a creamy white breast heavily streaked with brown. So you can imagine that, or maybe Damon will put a picture
Oh,
of
yeah,
it.
Damon will put it
We won't
up.
have to imagine it anymore.
Speaking of
can't say it.
birds, what?
You can't say that.
Why?
That's got to be Mazomanie site-wise.
Oh, true.
Oh, yeah,
Hey,
stop
say that. Say good tease though.
Well, but
we saw.
Sidewise happens before this, so
Oh,
yeah.
We've already
as you'll see
said it.
before,
Yeah.
as you'll
Yeah,
see
that's right.
prior.
as we said,
Yeah, right. The state tree is the southern live oak, also known as the southern live oak. I feel like I wrote that wrong. Is an evergreen oak tree endemic to the southeastern United States. The many other species are loosely called live oak. The southern live oak is particularly iconic of the Old South. Maybe he'll be able to put a picture of that. I wonder if that's the ones with the mossy,
oh,
like the stuff that
yeah,
that hangs down.
You mean they almost kind of look like willow trees, but it's not. It's actually
like they've got a
is
bunch
that
of
I wonder.
moss?
Maybe Joe will. Okay, well we'll move on
Damon
for
will
a
show.
second.
Damon can show us a
He can
picture.
show us. Yeah, I think
yeah.
that may be what it is.
Thanks, Damon.
Mossy oak.
Mozzie.
You know what I'm talking about?
Isn't that hunting or
Yeah,
something?
yeah, gear.
It's always the if we were wearing mossy oak, nobody would. All they would be seeing on this podcast is they'd be hearing a bunch of voices.
Well, they could see floating heads. That's
They're
what they
probably
see.
going to want to sponsor us. I would think once they hear us talking about.
Well, we've got
that.
some stuff in the inbox right now that
We
we haven't
gotta
even
check
looked
it out.
through
Yeah,
yet.
we can't get.
I'm
to all
sure
our
they're
emails.
one of them.
Just be patient.
Yeah.
State animal is the white-tailed deer, which I think is common. There's a lot of state mammals like ours is. Wisconsin, I think, is the white-tailed deer.
And when we were down in North Carolina, I don't know what I was thinking. I guess I just thought that white-tailed deer were more of a northern and midwestern thing, but they're not. I mean, there was just the same exact looking deer down there in North Carolina, South Carolina. Yeah, so Georgia must have the same.
They didn't come from up here because they weren't the same ones that you've seen up here.
That's true.
Right, yeah.
It's possible. That would be a journey.
They don't migrate, though, do they? They just hang in their, basically, their localized area.
I think so.
Yeah.
State nickname is the Peach State.
Peach tree.
Yep. Another nickname is the Goober State. Goober being another name for a peanut.
That's why the chocolate covered peanuts.
And Jimmy Carter's from
He sure
former
is.
President Jimmy Carter.
He was a
is
peanut
from,
farmer.
Yep, he was.
Yeah, goober farmer.
So was George Washington Carver.
Ah,
Well,
yeah.
I
did a
don't
lot
know
of-
if he was from
He
Georgia,
did a
but
lot of experiments on. He invented peanut
Do you
butter.
guys ever
Sure
remember, not to get too far off the beaten path, but do you ever remember Jimmy Carter? He was kind of embarrassed, and compared to what a lot of politicians are going through now, it was a minor embarrassment. Do you remember his brother? Remember what his brother's name was?
no.
I think it was Billy Carter, and he came out with a beer called Billy Beer.
Oh,
And
Billy Button.
and it was embarrassing to President Carter because he's a Southern Baptist, I think, and a Sunday school teacher. I think he used to still teach Sunday school. People would go down there after he was a president and listen to him teach Sunday school and stuff. Anyway, back to that. He was a Georgia peanut farmer. Okay,
just a real,
Quick check.
that's just a
real quick runaround.
Courtesy
there.
check there.
Few famous people from Georgia. Richard Dent, NFL player for the
number
85 Bears.
95,
Bears.
number 95.
Bears.
Yep.
Frank Thomas, the Big
yeah,
Hurt.
the Big
Oh,
Hurt.
he's
Big
from
baseball
Georgia.
player. Yep.
Interesting.
Julia Roberts.
Okay.
She also her
Actress.
birthday today. What a great
What a
great time.
Hey, if she's watching, happy
Yeah,
birthday.
shout out.
Happy-
Right.
Yep.
We should do that. We should just pretend like there are certain people watching it.
Julie, thanks
We
for
just wanna
watching.
say
Thanks for the
thanks.
comments and
Michael
stuff.
Jordan's also a sponsor of this podcast, and we just wanted to say thank you.
Kanye West as well. He's been in the news a lot recently. And it's also he's from Georgia, I guess.
Oh,
Isn't
Nice.
Ty Cobb from Georgia?
I would guess so.
Thought so. Look it up.
Yep.
Ty Cobb.
Yep.
I think he
Now,
was
is
called
that
the
under
Georgia. I think he
Tyrus
was called the
Cobb
Georgia
or
Peach.
Georgia.
Tyus.
I don't know about that.
Tyrus
Who did you think
Raymond Cobb, the nicknamed the
Georgia Peach.
Georgia Peach.
Okay.
There you
Where
go.
was he
He
born?
he was born in Narrows, Georgia.
Okay.
He wasn't the most peachy fellow.
Well, supposedly, I don't
That's
know.
it.
It
I
depends
think that's
who
an
you
old
ask.
wives' tale.
It's a little mythological.
All right, so we got some
mythological.
facts. We got to get through some of
gotta
these
get through
facts.
this. Let's
get through them.
I'm
Let's
sure
go.
there's plenty more famous people, so I apologize to anybody who's famous that I left
That's
out
watching.
from Georgia.
Really, you
But
need
this
to
was just a
apologize to
quick,
Dad.
just a quick little list that I had here. I had a feeling other people might that jump in on that. Georgia is the youngest of the 13 original states, the United States, 13 colonies. So that's a fact. Here's a couple more facts for you.
though.
Georgia has more soil types than any other state. Blairsville is the place to go for people who love sorghum. Remember sorghum?
It's
Glenn
kind
Lewis
of
likes that.
It's
Yeah,
kind of like syrup.
kind of.
Thanks to its soil conditions in Georgia and unique climate, it is the sole region in Georgia that grows sorghum, particularly for making syrup. So there it is.
Once again, Hudson's right on.
I wish DeMond would have kept a tally of how many times I've been right, because it's been a lot more than when I've been wrong.
Well, I don't know about that. Did you know that the cotton gin was invented by Georgia's Eli Whitney in 1793? The cotton gin is a machine that is used to pull cotton fibers from the cotton seed. So that made life a little bit easier down there. Anyway, Georgia is named after King George II.
No.
Yep, when Europeans first settled there in 1733.
There's also a country named Georgia.
That's very true.
That's
Yep.
in the old country.
Yep.
Yeah, I just
Very good, Hudson.
Eastern
He
European
sure knows his
area.
boundaries.
Fill in the
hope I don't
boundaries.
change them for my test.
Yeah. This was interesting. The Georgia Aquarium in downtown Atlanta is one of the world's largest aquariums. The aquarium holds, I can't really get my head wrapped around this, but the aquarium holds more than 10 million U.S. gallons as opposed to European gallons or, it's just that's our water in
Russia
there.
gallons.
10 million U.S. gallons of marine and saltwater, and it houses more than 100,000 animals. Some of the species available in the aquarium include whale shark, beluga whale, California sea lions, and African penguins.
We got to go there sometime.
I didn't know that was that big.
What does it cost to get in there, Joe?
Into
the Georgia Aquarium in
I
downtown
know we got to get
Atlanta.
moving on, so report back to us. But that'd be interesting. We just live in it there. That'd be a lot of fun.
Coca-Cola, the favorite drink of billions of people across the globe, was also invented in Atlanta, Georgia in 1886. Dr. John Pemberton. I think it's Pemberton. He invented Coca-Cola.
Good.
Pemberton.
Yep.
But
It
that
says
had
in
like
here,
Coke in it.
I think
Joe's
so,
got
at
something.
that time.
Caffeine.
Yes, go
It
ahead,
says
Joe.
in here the price is an arm and a leg.
Oh.
No,
Well, if you get near the sharks.
Because the whale
probably, huh?
shark?
It's $42.
$42 per?
I think so.
But think about it. You could spend the whole day there.
Yeah, you'd have to spend
At
a little bit more than
least
You
that
would
too.
want to with that price.
Yeah, and so
maybe
many.
get a meal or something.
Boy, I
with
tell
that.
you,
Yeah.
we've been here for about 6 hours. I think we need to stay here another 2 just to make sure we get our money's worth.
There you go. Shmoney. Hartsfield Jackson Atlanta International Airport, ATL, is the world's largest airport in terms of total number of passengers it handles every year.
That's always a worry in voiceover. Is running out of breath.
Georgia has had 5 capitals. Savannah was the capital from 1777 to 1785. Augusta, like Augusta National, I think, where they
Augusta,
play
Georgia.
The Masters.
the Masters. 1786 to 1789. Louisville, which I didn't even know was a city in
Georgia.
Georgia. 1789 to 1807. Milledgeville. Don't know where that is either. 1807 to 1867. And then finally Atlanta from 1868 to
Wow.
present. I wonder if like Milledgeville and Louisville are like, you know how Belmont was
Yeah,
the first
right,
capital
right.
of Wisconsin?
Yep. That's what I was
I don't know
thinking.
if I've
when
ever
you were
heard of
saying
that moving around so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does seem weird that
Like,
they would have
it's like make
5
up your
different
mind there, Georgia.
Especially
villages or cities that were
I wonder if
capitals.
Atlanta maybe wasn't that big at first, or wasn't located. You know,
Yeah.
like maybe they had certain areas were a little bit more centrally located. Savannah makes some sense, probably because it may have been like a port city.
Right, yeah. Or maybe those other ones were on the
Wow.
river or something like that.
Just
or they would
throwing,
get the-
just throwing around so many
Yeah.
facts, Drew.
Yep.
Thoughts.
Oh, at least nobody can verify them at this point.
Yep.
Georgia is rich in marble. The marble from the state was used to build the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., and the capitals of many states.
Wow.
Marble.
Impressive.
Behind Texas, Georgia has the second most counties in the United States. Texas has 254 counties,
Of course.
and
they
Georgia
do.
has 159, so almost 100 less.
But it's also a lot smaller than.
Oh, yeah.
You're not wrong
Texas,
about
the
that.
point.
So it's like,
Here,
why are there
here's the size
so-
difference. Watch here. Look at this.
Oh,
Oh, look what you did there.
Oh, boy.
You could fit Georgia into Alaska 11 times.
No, you
That's not
couldn't.
Texas, though.
But it's a size thing.
I was thinking you were saying Texas,
Yeah, I
too.
thought so, too.
Alaska's bigger than Texas, though.
Sure is.
Yeah.
Wow, 11.
To me, that's weird because it's like, here, let's put a whole bunch of little counties in Georgia. I know there's still 100 less than Texas, but
Yeah.
Texas, it's like Texas back. Yeah, I understand why they've got a bunch.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Athens is where the first twin-barreled cannon was created and displayed at the seat of the city hall.
double barrel.
Historians say this innovation was a massive failure in the history of war since it was never used in actual combat. Joe, you should look this up. When I read this,
How
I
can it be a
think
failure?
I think the reason it was a failure, maybe this is, I can't remember if this is wrong or not. I think what happened was they would put a chain between like these cannon,
I think it's betwixt. Yep.
fire them, but they would head off at the wrong time. Maybe that was just like a sea.
They wouldn't shoot off simultaneously, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I think that's maybe why. Maybe it wasn't the chain thing, but maybe they just didn't fire off correctly, like a double barrel shotgun. But those work fine.
They either have, sometimes double barrel shotguns either have 2 triggers,
Okay.
or they have it's like a double action where
Oh.
you can pull it one time and pull it another time, and they control each side of
side.
the barrel. So it has 2 firing pins. You pull it a certain length and it shoots one side. You pull it the rest of the
Further back.
length and it shoots the other one. I can't remember. Pacha.
When Georgia was founded in 1772, it included much of the present-day Alabama and Mississippi. So it was huge back then.
I guess supposedly you could shoot curveballs with that thing.
Wow.
Maybe it wasn't invented
he's
for
back to the
war.
guns.
Hey,
Or
maybe,
double barrel.
Drew, maybe it wasn't invented for wartime. They were just playing baseball down there, and they're like, "Hey, we need to learn how to hit curveballs."
Yep.
Because Joe said they shoot curveballs, so maybe it
said,
was one that shot fastballs, and the other one shot
The
Seems
curveballs.
like a
barrels
stretch,
gave
but-
the connected
I like
balls
to
hear
a
the first
spinning
word.
movement.
Yeah.
And it was the first baseball gun, whatever you call it. What do they call that? Pitching machine.
There
Here
you
we
go.
Wow.
You got a lot to get through. 12
Do.
minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
I'm all right.
I'll stop talking.
We're
No,
okay.
you're fine. He's got it all.
Yeah, we got it all
paced out.
timed out. Fort Benning, considered one of the best Army installations in the world, is located in Columbus, Georgia. We know a guy that was there. Georgia outranks other states in the production of Vidalia onions, known as the sweetest onions in the world.
Yeah.
The state is also the topmost producer of peanuts, pecans, and peaches. 3 Ps. There are about 4 dozen varieties of peaches from Georgia.
No.
Peaches contain vitamins, fiber, and potassium. I think potassium
Also
is a vitamin. All right, we got some weird Georgia laws we can talk about.
Let's do it.
First one I've got listed here is it is illegal to keep a donkey in a bathtub.
I can understand
To
why.
keep it in there, you can put it in there, but you just can't keep it.
Yeah.
You just can't. Yeah.
It just, what's
Here's
the
where-
time period?
Here's where it came from.
Okay.
In 1924. Now, at first, you're gonna say, "Oh, that doesn't make any sense." But just let me finish all the way through
We'll
here,
let
and
you
then
go.
you'll
Listening.
feel through. In 1924, an Arizona farmer allowed his donkey to sleep in an old bathtub. A dam burst, and the town was flooded. The donkey, still in the bathtub, floated downstream. He was rescued, but the ordeal took many hours and a lot of manpower. After that, several states passed laws against the keeping of donkeys in bathtubs.
That bathtub may have saved the
was he
donkey's
floating
life.
down in the bathtub?
Yep,
Okay.
yep. The donkey, still in the bathtub. I kind of read that, I think.
Joe wasn't listening.
That's all
I'm
right.
only getting
That's-
the most essential
And
things out
several
of it.
states followed suit. On
Yeah,
that.
yeah, interesting, right?
This is a
As if they
problem.
don't have enough laws as it is. Let's
Let's put some more on the
some
books.
on the other people are dealing with.
Yeah. Some of these are just, you have to have these, though. You cannot live on a boat for more than 30 days during the calendar year, even if you're just passing through the state. This one was targeted at rundown floating homes that existed on the Altamaha River. Probably not pronouncing that correctly.
I think you're dead on.
Neighbors found the houseboats ugly and were concerned about pollution. The Georgia State Legislature passed a law in 1992 that living on a houseboat was illegal. So MacGyver couldn't live in Georgia.
No,
He
you just have
lived
to,
in Canada.
Yeah, you have to move.
Oh, that's
it down.
right. He lived in a houseboat.
Houseboat.
Yes, he did. Hockey
California.
guy.
He was in California, though. I think he was out in California, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
I thought he's from. But he's,
Well, that's where he's,
He's from
but
Canada.
that's not where
That doesn't
MacGyver
mean he
was
has to live
shot.
there.
I think he's from Minnesota.
That's where he got
but that's
shot.
right.
Yeah. What's that?
He's from Roseville, Minnesota.
Yeah, he's from Minnesota.
Richard Dean Anderson is.
Yeah.
MacGyver.
MacGyver, yep. No one may carry an ice cream cone in their back pocket if it is a Sunday.
Wait.
Wait a second.
If it's a Sunday,
yeah,
like
Sunday.
as in the day Sunday, or if it's a
guess-
Sunday.
Sundays are in a
The
bowl
day.
anyway.
Yep.
Oh, true.
My bad.
Horse thieves apparently used to put ice cream cones in their back pocket to lure horses away. We're really not sure why this is only applicable one day of the week, but we suspect it might be related to horses being tied up during church.
Makes sense.
Horse
Oh,
thieves.
horse thief. Yeah.
Who are we talking about? We that's not us.
Well, he's
People that did all
okay.
this research. I didn't do any of this
he
research.
considers himself a researcher because he researches what the researchers put down.
Yeah. I wasn't going to say they.
Okay.
Athens, Clark County.
Trouble.
Goldfish may not be given away to entice someone to enter a bingo game.
Hey, guess what? If you win, big prize at the end.
Yeah.
Won't tell you.
They suggest, I didn't put it in here, but they suggested that they thought maybe it was because of the treatment of the goldfish after they were won. Because when you win them in fairs and other things like that, people maybe don't
Take care
of
They
them.
throw them on the grass or
Well, I'll
flush
be
them down
honest
the
with
toilet.
you.
or
Shake
whatever.
them.
You know, we had goldfish growing up, and it was rare that they lasted very long anyway.
What did
Even
Jimmy-
you tried. Jimmy the fish did.
Jimmy Fish, what, 3 years?
3 years. Don't know how he did it.
You think though that those
Whose
people
fish was
at the
that?
That was mine.
fairs? Sometimes I think of people at the fairs or not the circus. What do they call those things?
Carnival?
Carnival.
Okay.
Don't think that they do a real great job of taking care of those things either.
Probably not a top priority of theirs.
It's probably like was it really the kid's fault, or which probably a lot of the time it was, but
Yeah.
was it the guy with one arm that sold it to him?
We're awfully just flippant about those store fish.
Yeah.
You know, you let your little kid
Yeah.
handle feeding it and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
It just dies 2 days later.
Yeah, tough.
Yeah. Here's owners of mules may not allow their animal to roam around Athens, Clark County. It's unsupervised.
That
That makes sense. Yeah,
makes
you just
perfect
can't have
sense.
animals walking
Yep.
around.
It is also illegal to make a disturbing sound at a fair in Athens, Clark County.
I wonder what they.
Disturbing the peace, maybe. I don't know.
I wonder
In
what
Athens Fair?
At a fair at Athens, Clark.
Maybe
what
think about
that
big
entails.
crowds. Maybe,
Yeah.
all of a sudden you make a noise and it causes
Yeah, hoopla.
Mass panic.
mass panic.
Like what would do that? A gunshot, a pretend gunshot,
Or maybe some sort of screaming that's like,
Oh yeah, or
I'm being
yelling
kidnapped
something,
or something like
fire
that.
or something.
Yeah, you can't do
Okay.
that in a crowded theater.
My mind doesn't work that way. When we were down at the Oyster Festival down in North Carolina, I didn't think let me yell something or say.
well, that's
do
because you
some
were so
appropriate-
unplugged.
Wow,
That's true.
Yeah,
I was,
you're just
I was
zen.
away from work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just
So unplugged.
sitting
Yeah,
just
zoned
totally
into having
relaxed.
just absolute unplugged time.
You time.
The last one I'm going to put up here is members of the state assembly cannot be ticketed for speeding while the state assembly is in session,
Oh,
in case they need to get someplace
to
to
vote.
vote.
Yep.
I guess.
I wonder if they get like a light like the cops do.
I don't know.
Remember, we asked Jerry and Jet because they're on the EMT.
Mm-hmm.
We asked them because they were plugging it because they're always short of people here in Mazo. And I said, "Do you get one of those yellow or red flashing?" Nope, they don't get one of those.
They drive the
because they
speed
live
limit
drive the speed limit.
within
That's because
3
they're
miles.
within the distance that they're supposed to be.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should move so they can speed.
Yeah. Move a mile away.
It would kind of be the fun part of doing it.
What if they get called when they're in Black Earth? Then they can speed, right? Because they're outside of the.
Not sure.
We didn't
Not
clarify.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. Is that all you got?
Here's
Or
a
you got
couple
more?
national
Sorry.
holidays,
You can go.
and this fits in nicely with what we just talked about.
Perfect.
So we got National First Responders Day. We'd like to thank our first responders.
Jameson,
Camden.
Springstead,
Burgers,
Camden.
the-
Camden.
Yep.
Which-
Mel Yasik.
Yep.
Mel Yasik over there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing is it's Bandana Day today, which is great.
Inside joke
So
there.
wear your bandana today.
Phil.
Yep.
And it's also National Chocolate Day.
Oh,
I did wear a bandana on the podcast one
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
You told
yeah,
me I
that's
should.
right, yeah.
That wasn't my idea.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, there was a blue one, white one.
Bandana.
So that's number 31 in the can.
Sure is.
And we had our great taste test.
We did. Sorry
We
to those who
had,
don't like chewing.
We had our
Wisconsinites
Wisconsinites
Weekly
Weekly and
Site-wise.
Mazomanie
Mazo
Site-wise. We've got some great guests that are coming up. We don't have we've got one scheduled. Listen to this. This person, now all the people we've had as guests so far from Mazomanie, this person actually lives in Black Earth. We're spreading our wings. He works in Mazo.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, that's coming up this next month. Special guest, a local guest. But see, we're not just focused on Mazo. We live here, so we have a lot of guests here. But we'll have guests from Black Earth and Cross Plains. We'll have guests from anywhere if we want
If
to.
we want to.
If we want to, we will.
This is
We
our
can have
podcast.
guests where we want them.
Yep.
We won't leave them behind. Either.
Yeah. Friend of Johnny,
Friend of the family. Yeah.
friend of the family.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So that's coming up, and
You know
we've
who
got-
you are.
We've got a few other people on the line.
Yep.
And so again, we might be coming your way
Yeah,
for some
so-
guestage.
Yep.
Well, thank you. We also had a reverse sponsorship from Wick Buildings through Dad.
Nice.
Dad wore the hat. Nobody
Oh,
else will be able to
nice.
wear it now. But yeah, there
Reverse
was
sponsorship.
That, so
Yep.
Thank you for spending your time with us, whether it was early morning, afternoon, evening,
Overnight.
overnight, whenever you spent your time with us. Thank you. And as always, if you liked it, go ahead and hit the like. Comment if you found something that was moving on this podcast. And hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content like what we produced here today. So this is us signing off from the original Father-Son Voiceover Podcast studios. And thanks for all of you guys showing up.
No problem.
So, all right. We'll see you on the next one. Whew. You made it through that long one. Thanks for doing that. If you're interested in more content like that, check out maybe one of these. And maybe, I don't know, click on this. It's up to you. You can do whatever you want.